Hello, everyone, and welcome to BodyBags. I'll be your reviewer for tonight. I'm Juan from Tats, and I feel actually pretty good this week because we're reviewing movies from 1982, and I've been feeling kind of like here in the last number of weeks, actually, I feel like I've been kind of like not really doing like very gruesome, very horrifying movies or anything like that. It seems like the majority of the time I've been reviewing like old films or movies that are more like, horror comedies and stuff like this. So I'm actually really, really happy to finally talk about, a nice, bloody, gory splatter film and everything. Yeah, I got, believe it or not, it's like I do watch that kind of stuff. It's not all just, laughs and boobs and stuff like that, So, today from 1982, I am reviewing Pieces. We all. I don't think there's really much I could say. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is probably gonna be absolutely one of my shortest movie reviews if you think about it, because really everybody's already seen this movie. What am I gonna say about it that hasn't already been said? We all know the tagline. It's exactly what you think it is. The other tagline: you don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre. And this movie here, yeah, this movie was a lot of fun to. This is a movie I remember though. We rented back, when I was really young, back in the video store days, back in the Stone Age, and all that. And we rented this movie, and I admit this was a movie I had a bit of a tough time trying to get through it when I was a kid. This was a bit of a tough watch for me, and just like the beginning, just the very opening scene and everything else. Just the movie always had to me, it always had a really unsettling atmosphere. And as much as I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like that movie was easier to take because a lot of the there was very little gore, very little violence. A lot of that stuff happened off screen. And in this movie, they don't do that. It's all in your face, and stuff. So you can see from the back there. So yeah. So like I said, I don't think I really need to tell you too much about this movie. I'm sure everybody knows about it. Um, but yeah, this movie, it took me some years to finally get around to watching it and get to where I was like, okay, yeah, I now I can watch this movie, and now I can appreciate it for what it is and everything else. And yeah, this movie is just blood and gore and carnage. And another thing I love about this movie too is it's insane. This movie just goes off the rails. Just when you think it can't get any more weird or bizarre, it goes. The story. We begin the movie with a young boy who's, yeah, he's got like a thing for puzzles, but his, the 500 piece puzzles and stuff. But as we all know, that's the thing. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm gonna pretty much talk about this like you guys have already seen it because I'm pretty sure you already have. I won't give away any spoilers because, just in case if somebody watching this has not seen it, but I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, that's because you know this movie and you've seen it already. Um, but yeah, this young lad, he's got like this thing for puzzles, and then of course it turns out, well, his puzzles aren't exactly the wholesome, family-friendly puzzles you're used to. It's not cute little kittens with bows, or it's not like a beautiful like seaside horizon painting kind of a thing. No, no, it's naked women. So we already know that. So the boy, he's putting together this puzzle. His mother comes in. She sees him doing this, and of course she's none too happy about it. Of course, yeah, and she's letting him know what a nasty little pig he is, and he's a pervert and all this other kind of stuff. Keeping all this gross, nasty, porn in her house and all that kind of stuff. And um, of course, women don't, a lot of women can't stand porn, and they think it's horrible and degrading and stuff like that. And now you have now like when a woman asks, how come you don't want to see Barbie? It's like, well, how come you don't want to see, Triple X cheerleader gangbang? It's the same damn thing. While Barbie is degrading to men, porn is degrading to women. So there you go. But anyway, so all right, we're not getting off on that. So she threatens to throw away his puzzle, and he responds by chopping her up with an axe. And so the boy is found. Then we cut to years later. Now we're on a college campus, and young, beautiful young co-eds are being, hacked to pieces with by a chainsaw wielding killer. And you do have some recognizable names in this movie. You have Christopher George. You remember from uh, City of the Living Dead. You have his wife Linda Day George. And the two of them were acted together in Day of the Animals, and I'm sure they did other stuff together too. But Edmund Purdom, who you've seen in a number of movies, like Absurd and don't do was it Don't Open Until Christmas, which I believe he kind of halfway directed, and then he walked off. But Edmund Purdom, you have this movie. I'm sorry, the name of the director is escaping me right now, but he's the. I was just talking to Rob about this. He's the director who directed. It's called. It's just been released as Extraterrestrial Visitors by Severin, but to me, I'm always going to remember it as Pod People, and you know, um, I have the DVD from Mystery Science Theater, and as a matter of fact, the young actor who plays was Rick, I believe, in Pod People. He also plays the young male hero in this movie too, and all this. And so yeah, so if you ever a quick shout out, okay, if you've never seen the Mystery Science Theater episode of Pod People, watch it. It's side splitting funny. What do you think? It stinks. So yeah, if you get a chance, yeah, check out Pod People on Mystery Science Theater. You'll laugh. You'll laugh and laugh and laugh. Anyway, back to this. But anyway, so the director is the same from that movie to this movie, and the actor is the same. But also too, we have Paul L. Smith, who back in the '80s, like man, we've seen this guy in so many movies. One of the biggest things everybody's going to remember him from is he played Bluto in the Popeye movie with Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall. He's been in so much other stuff too. He was in what else was it? Like movies like Sunny Boy. He was in Sam Raimi's comedy movie Crime Wave. Just on and on. Like this, the man had a very very long and strong going acting career. He seemed like he was always working, and especially back in the '80s. It seemed like this guy was always in a movie or a TV show at some point. So you couldn't go too far without seeing him in something. But anyway, so yeah, he's in here, and the problem is when he shows up, he is there like from the instant he appears on screen, he is there clearly to be, a red herring. So it's like as soon as you see him walk on the screen, you're like, okay, he's meant to be the killer, but it's clearly not him. But yeah, and then just some of the chainsaw murders and stuff. Like I said, when I was a kid, I had really had a hard time getting through this, and it's like now I could watch it, as especially when you watch it at high definition, like there's one shot where the girl is in the elevator and the guy, she's trapped in there with the guy with the chainsaw. You could see it's like a fake arm that's like holding on to like a rail or something inside the elevator. He like lops it off and it goes flying off. It's like you now with high definition you could see that it was fake and everything. There was the one scene, probably the most gruesome scene as far as the chainsaw kills go, is the young girl who's trapped in the locker room bathroom, and he's sawing through the door to get through. And then there's a shot, where you see the saw cutting through. It's supposed to be her, but if I understand correctly, I think they said actually it was like actually it's just like showing them cutting through a pig carcass and stuff like that. And then they go and they find the poor girl sawed in half, and that's where you get the amazing scene where Linda Day George is like, bastard, 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 so you get that amazing acting right there. And then of course the movie also it's a who done it, who is the killer. I'm definitely sure like Scream probably took some inspiration from this, and this is a movie that's lauded and praised by the likes of Eli Roth and stuff like this. There is one scene that actually, if you watch the Cinema Snobs review on this, yeah, he talks about how what was the screamer's name? Jerry Randall, I believe it was. I'm sorry, I don't remember, but there was a scene where uh, the screenwriter was like a producer and writer on a bunch of kind of like Bruce Lee exploitation flicks and stuff, and so he got one of these actors who was like a kind of like a faux Bruce Lee, um, you know, martial arts actor who did a bunch of these kind of like fake Bruce Lee movies and stuff, and all the like Linda George's character, Linda Day George's character. She's walking along and then she gets jumped by this guy just out of nowhere, and he's like doing karate kicks and stuff like this, and he passes out and stuff. And it's weird, and it's like a really off-putting scene in the movie, and it doesn't really go anywhere. I mean, it doesn't lead to anything. The martial arts guy, he's like, he leaves from the movie and just never comes back. So I mean, this movie has just some weird scenes that just kind of pop up out of nowhere. And I'm not going to tell you how it ends or any of that kind of stuff, but like the very last, like 2 minutes of the movie is going to make you just, your jaw is going to drop and like, what the hell am I watching? But, oh yeah. But this movie, it's got blood and guts. If you're one of those people like you were annoyed, like after you've watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre several times and you realize like, wow, that movie's not really bloody or gory at all, and it kind of ticks me off, then like this movie is going to be what you're going to want to see. This is going to show it to you. Whereas like Chainsaw Massacre, the whole idea, it was psychological. It worked on you on a psychological level, and even though the movie's particularly not gory, the movie makes you believe you're seeing more than what's actually there. This movie, no, it doesn't do it. Everything is, it's wall to wall gore. It's in your face. You see, all this kind of stuff. I mean, they were not lying about this. It's like, it's exactly what you think it is. It's bloody, it's graphic, it's exploitative, all this kind of stuff. Lots of, if you're like, two things I love in a movie, boobs and blood, and, Pieces got you covered. So you're going to enjoy Pieces very much. And yeah, even Joe Bob Briggs, the best chainsaw flick since the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Splatter City, 4 stars. But oh yeah, I mean, if you're into, like I said, this, if you're the kind of person you're not a gore hound, then yeah, you're gonna want to avoid Pieces, because this movie is for the gore hounds. It's not really, it's not the most scariest movie. It's not the most. It's not something that really works on like building suspense or creating scares or any of that kind of stuff. Even though it's more gory and bloody and disturbing and unsettling to watch and stuff like that. So it works on you more on that kind of a level. But I mean, if you like that kind of thing, and and especially if you're personally, in my opinion, if you're trying to build you're one of those kind of horror fans, you want to build a horror movie library with all the most disturbing and violent horror movies that you can find, then yeah, Pieces is definitely something I think you're going to want in your collection. But overall, it's like I said, I had trouble, and to me, that to me is like, that's more of a compliment than it is a takeaway from Pieces. Is the fact that it's like I think when a movie can affect you and stuff, and that it's like, if a movie can scare you or disturb you or make you laugh or make you cry or something like that, I mean, if a movie works on a level where it gets something out of you, not just entertainment value, but also, it can actually cause genuine emotion in you, I think it's a good movie. And Pieces really is. And I definitely recommend, I mean, if you're into gruesome, gory horror and stuff, yeah, definitely check it out. So I think that's about it. I'm getting to a point now, all I'm doing is just repeating myself anymore. So, that's it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it, and I appreciate you for doing it. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, would you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the BodyBags channel. We have a different reviewer, one for every day of the week. I am the Saturday reviewer. We have I'm working with a great group of guys, and everybody's doing good stuff. And, I say it all the time. I'm blessed to be in their company. And this is awesome, and I hope this continues on for a good long time. And that's it. So take care, everybody. Have a good night. I'll see you later.